What are 5 mistakes people make in their 20s that guarantee they will have a hard life?
Every adult I know who has a hard life can trace that hard life back to one of these things that they did when they were younger. 1. Drugs. If you were looking for a way to add unnecessary difficulties to your life, doing drugs is your best bet. 2. Having children with the wrong person. The wrong person is someone who won't stick around to help you raise the child. 3. Expecting perfection in a mate. This one doesn't seem like a bad decision at first. But I know a lot of people my age who lament not holding on to someone they had when they were younger, because now they're older and have no one and the competition for someone is younger. 4. Taking on too much student loan debt for a worthless degree. The world has enough liberal arts majors who are paying off their student loans one drink order at a time. 5. Being impatient when it comes to a career. Do you work at a place where there's a hierarchy that you can work your way up? Be patient. Don't throw away a good opportunity because the next step is a year or 2 away. 1. Falling into an addiction. An addiction is just a way of making a hard life even harder. It takes your time and all your attention from the things that really matter. 2. Imitation. Imitation kills creativity. It leaves you empty and confused, wondering where all your time went. 3. Not giving your all to something. A life lived casually is full of casual results. If you don't learn to give your 100% to things, you'll end up being average and mediocre. 4. Lacking self-control. Nothing disrupts a life than having a child when you are not ready. Being responsible for another human being is a serious business. It should never fall on you by mistake. 5. Not believing in yourself. Life is full of challenges, failures and doubters. Your faith in yourself will be put to test several times. If you don't have a solid belief in yourself, you'll fall. Going to university without a plan. If you're not studying law, medicine, or any other subject that will put you into a position of gaining a high-in-demand job, then don't waste your time. Energy and money on university. Getting hooked on the party lifestyle. Everybody who's been in their 20s knows that this phase of your life can be pretty wild. And there's nothing wrong with having fun, drinking a lot, meeting cool and interesting people, or even doing various and extensive research with different substances. But sadly, a large percentage of people who enter their 30s have made a habit out of using drugs or drinking excessively in their 30s. This will wreak havoc on their physical and mental health. Never mastering their emotions. I'm glad that I was an impulsive, depressed, emotional wreck in my 20s, because it taught me how invaluable it is to control and learn from my emotions. If every wrong look or question throws you into a fit, or if you're consumed by depression, or crippled by the fear of rejection or failure, then learn to master your emotions. Your emotions are either your most powerful allies, or your most fearsome enemies. Believing that hedonism is happiness, being able to travel everywhere, drink expensive champagne, eat in expensive restaurants, flexing with jewelry and designer clothing etc. only looks good on Instagram. It's not a guarantee that you're really, truly happy. Many rich people are emotional and spiritually bankrupt, while many of the poor lead fulfilling happy lives. Materialism and consumption is often the opposite of true happiness. Not getting rich, WTF? How does that fit together? Didn't I just tell you that money can't buy happiness? Of course money can't buy happiness. Happiness is not dependent on how much money you have, but on how you communicate with yourself. But having no money or having to break your back in job that you hate just to pay your bills is also the fastest route to a very dark and painful place. Become financially independent ASAP, so that you don't have to spend 2/3 of your life working. Not getting strong, muscular and healthy. In your 20s, you tend to take your body and its youthful strength and vitality for granted. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you could make. If you haven't made healthy eating and regular training a habit in your 20s, just wait for your 30s. You'll really start to notice the aches and pains and the excess body fat piling up. You'll feel less energy and vigor. You might even develop some diseases that you easily could have prevented. 1. Staying inside most days. 2. Losing contact with friends. 3. Spending carelessly. 4. Not trying very hard to secure an enjoyable career, instead of any job. 5. Becoming more unfit. For whatever reason. Edit. A lot of people are asking about number 1. In a very brief way, I will list a few reasons why this is a mistake. Your immune system. Vitamin D. Ability to come across people without sweating, hissing, and then scuttling away. To sum it up, it's for your physical and mental health. There is plenty of scientific evidence pointing towards the negative health effects of remaining indoors all the time. I understand that it can be hard to go outside. It can seem meaningless to go outside, it can seem counterproductive, or like a waste of time. I can assure you it is quite the opposite, and my answer still stands. Even if you cannot see the grass on the other side. 1. Marry and have a child with a disastrous choice of partner. You will be bound to them for the rest of your life via the child and will pay dearly for this mistake. 2. Settle into a job, career that isn't satisfying and locks in a dependence on the money from that job. 3. Spend all the money made and fail to invest in something like a house or shares. The compounding effect is such a powerful goldmine you'll fail to exploit, and money will always need to be earned without leverage. 4. Tolerate bad treatment from girlfriends, friends. It trains you into what you'll tolerate and resent for the rest of your life. 5. Focus on meeting outward demands instead of cultivating character through education, introspection, therapy, and personal development. Ignorance of your inner motivations leaves you a slave to the training you got as a child, which is geared toward satisfying others instead of empowering and fulfilling yourself. 1. Thinking you know all the answers. 2. Thinking you're failing at life when you've only just begun. 3. Not planning for the future. Save money, open a business, etc. 4. Don't think that anything is going to be easy. A job doesn't care what your life is like, only that you do the work. 5. Get over the partying thing. Yeah. You can't do it when you're under 21, but so what? It gets old fast and you can get into big trouble if you aren't careful. 1. Live loveless. That means being in relationships, romantic and family, that keeps you from truly feeling love. 2. No type of savings. I'm not saying invest in a house, but invest in a savings account of some kind. If I didn't have the money I saved up in my 20s, when I broke down after my mother passed, I don't think financially I would have been able to keep my life together. I get the whole you want to live up your 20s, but it's alarming to hear that a friend of mine that makes way more money than me has no savings at all. Sure, they lease a nice car, go on nice trips, but now if something were to suddenly happen to her job, she's giant screwed. Don't do that to yourself. Financial dependency is super important. Our parents after our 20s are either not alive or should be using our help and not the other way around. Plus, as sad as I felt when I felt like I lost it all, I felt so great about the fact that I was responsible enough to prepare for this. I still enjoyed my money, I just did it responsibly. 3. Not try to find what you love to do often. Before our 20s, we live under our parents' rule, and sometimes that doesn't allow us to really get to know our individual likes, career, or spending your off time. You should do what you love. This self-identification will help you in your 30s, in your relationships, and your future family. And don't get too beaten up about not always doing what you love career-wise. Do it on your off time. Feed your desires. And if you don't know what you like, try new things. 4. Not live a healthy lifestyle. I have heard of friends dying not just of drug overdoses in their 20s but of heart attacks because of obesity as well. Take care of your body the best you can. You only get one and it's precious. 5. Not deciding too hastily about having a family. I let a lot of good men go because I never could make a sharp decision on whether I wanted a family of my own or not. This sets me back in relationships, having difficulties with commitment. But on the other end of the spectrum, I'm sure some of the girls and guys I know with kids would have liked to have lived their 20s differently. But complications come from both. So deciding early on how you would like to live, the relationships you should be in. I shouldn't have been with people who wanted to for sure start a family. Just like some of my friends shouldn't have been with people desperate to have a family and not ready. I have a sister that has 3 kids and she couldn't be a better mother. Financially not totally ready, but totally ready as in she's the best. She decided early that she wanted that for herself. I wish I would have taken that decision as seriously as I took the decision to go to college.
Nothing is guaranteed in life other than a sure death. That is a bit morose, but a fact. But recently one of my friend died. He smoked a lot, 15 ciggies a day, and drank a lot. He got corona and died due to multiple organ failure. Careful with the "I am hip" part. You do not know what is going to hit you. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to see more of Quora text-to-speech answers.